the house from Full House just sold for $6 million. So, Full House, not to be confused with Family Matters, was the show that took place in San Francisco. It had Bob Saget, rest in peace, John Stamos, the Olsen twins. Was a very, very, very popular show. So I know a lot of the audience says that they don't watch sports, but they're supporting the channel. Everyone should have watched Full House. It was iconic. It was on for years. And it kind of was like that family, homey show that everybody watched. It had good kind of educational topics and storylines that resonated with a lot of people. So the outside of the house, if you don't know, is super iconic. They always showed it. The Golden Gate Bridge in the beginning opening scene. So I'm curious to see if people think that's a good price, it's a bad price. Would you buy a house like that? I personally went and visited the house when I was in San Francisco in 2016. I sat on the steps, I took a picture, and there were other people waiting to take pictures as well. So if you're buying a house like that, others that come to mind is the Home Alone house in Illinois, Michael Jordan's old estate in Illinois. He's got the big 2-3 outside the gates. There's the Shameless house in Chicago. So there's a lot of iconic places that people go specifically on their trips and want to visit those spots. I feel like the Full House is one of those places. So it's interesting to me of like, one, who bought this home, and two, what they're going to do with it. Because ultimately you have to expect a lot of people to come by, take pictures, and it takes away a lot of your privacy. Personally, I don't know, having 4 girls in my family, if I'd want to buy something like that. But on the flip side of that, I did go visit the Shameless house in Chicago. And what the family did was outside on their porch, they put a little like tip cup jar for every person that took a picture to put some money in there. So you kind of felt obligated to throw them a little cash, throw them a little bit of money. Now, what's different about that one is I think that family who had already been living there and Shameless had just come to them to use their home for the show. Whereas this other one was bought in 2016 by the producer of Full House. He bought it in 2016 for $4.15 million, and then he sold it in 2020 for $5.35 million. So he made a little bit of profit, and then now it just sold again for $6 million 5 years later. So it's interesting to me to see houses go for sale. I know the Michael Jordan house sat on the market for a long time. I think it was like over 10 years before someone eventually just purchased it, maybe last year. So I'm curious to see what you think. Would you buy a home like this? Would you not buy a home like this? Would you go visit the home and bother the owners? One of my passions when I go on vacations, like I said, is to visit some of these iconic spots. So it's just interesting because, you know, $6 million in San Francisco actually doesn't sound like that bad of a price for a home, because it's an investment. And then, like I said, too, whoever is buying it could potentially have money poured back into it by advertising, putting kind of their brand or business promoted outside of the doors. But you're also buying that home knowing that they didn't film the show inside of that house. They filmed it inside in LA, and it's just the outside. So, you know, I'm curious to see, would you buy this place? Would you go take a picture at this place? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you like Full House or if you were a Family Matters family. And, you know, what you would do if you bought the home. Peace.